Welcome to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. I'm Jeff DiVeronica. He's Steve Bradley. We're back in studio here, Classy Wolf Studio, with our guy Joe Broad, our ace producer. Good to be back in studio, Stephen. Good to be talking some more Section 5 girls basketball in a season that is commemorative of the 50th anniversary of the Section 5 girls basketball tournament.
Absolutely. And a team that won its share of tournaments, Jeff, will be joining us first. The Waterloo Indians, Coach Michael Bree, not Mike Brey, he's at Notre Dame. Michael Bree's in Waterloo. And Natalie DiSanto.
Yeah, the Indians, as we record this, are undefeated at 13-0, and they're certainly going to be a contender to repeat as a Section 5 champion. Last year, the B2 champions, and they were 14-0 and had one of those magical unbeaten seasons before COVID, of course, stopped everything. There was no regionals and qualifiers. But let's welcome on first on our specialties Skype hotline, Coach Michael Bree and his roundabout 9th varsity season. We'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. And also a junior point guard, Natalie DiSanto, on a squad that is undefeated. And Natalie, awful young, too. Only 2 seniors on this squad. We'll talk about some of your top scorers in a minute, but how excited are you the way the team is playing, Natalie, and what have you been doing so well during this undefeated start against some really good competition?
Yeah, our defense is always on point, and we work really hard in practice to prepare for the teams and to make sure we're doing everything right.
So, Coach Bree, great season in the spring, and coming into this year with 4 returning starters, what are the expectations?
I think the expectations are right where we're at right now. I think everyone expects us to do very well. And we try to tell the kids to just go one game at a time. And, they do work really hard in practice. And, I think just taking it one game at a time and trying to not get too far ahead of ourselves. This year, I felt like our schedule's been really strong in terms of who we played thus far. And just like I said, we've got 7 more in the regular season. We want to take it one at a time and just kind of go from there and to kind of peak right at the end there and hopefully make a good run in the postseason.
Coach Bree has coached, I believe, 3 Section 5 champions for Waterloo in his 9 seasons at the helm. And Natalie, did you girls look at the schedule when you saw it come out? Did you know that Coach kind of loaded you up here? You started with Aquinas, and then you had a Canandaigua in the first weekend.
In their own tournament.
Yeah, and you beat them both, and you beat them both pretty good, actually. And these are 2 quality programs. A Canandaigua team that, as we record this again, 12-1 on the season. You beat them 39-26, but you look down the line, you beat Livonia, a team that's 11-3 as we record this, 67-50. You beat Seneca Falls Minders by 7. They're 8-3. Pal Mac, a rival, of course, defending B1 champion, beat them by 19. And at Mercy on January 4th, a AA school, you won at their place, and you beat them by 9 too. Did you girls notice that Coach kind of really wanted to challenge you? And I guess, how did y'all receive that?
Yeah, I think we're really excited because we're really up for the challenge. Every team we play gives us good competition, and they always, we get everyone's best shot. But I think when we saw the higher up teams, we were really excited to play them.
Maybe talk about the process of this team evolving and growing. You spent a season coaching them, a lot of people on this team on junior varsity. So you've been able to come back up with them and see them develop. What are kind of the hallmarks of this team, and what did you see a few years ago that you knew would be potential to growing into a very good team?
Yeah, I mean, they love playing the game, I think, is the biggest thing. We've really, from their 7th and 8th grade year, we have played so much basketball together, not just during the season, but off-season work. They put a ton of time in the gym. We play AAU together. We keep them together as an AAU group, and they play together, and just spend a lot of time together. They're great kids. They have a lot of fun playing. I think there's a unique skill set here with, we don't have we don't preach going to one girl all the time. We don't run a lot of plays for just one girl. We want to space the ball out. We want to make sure everyone's involved and make the extra pass. to keep everyone excited about playing. And then I think really what we hang our hat on is defensively. I think we're unique in the fact that we pressure you pretty much the whole game, make or miss, a full court. And we make several different adjustments with that depending on who we're playing. So, it's constant pressure that teams deal with that makes it a tough challenge to play us, I think.
Natalie, Coach just talked about that pressure going 94 feet the whole game. How much fun is it to play that kind of basketball?
Oh, it's really fun. I think especially when everyone gets going and, we get a bunch of steals and then we're always looking to make the extra pass and it gets really fun.
She's a runner, right? So she certainly is not going to get
She's a member of the Section 5, champion cross-country team, and she plays lacrosse. So a 3-sport athlete. Is basketball your favorite?
Basketball and lacrosse, yeah.
Talking some Waterloo girls basketball here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Let's talk about this roster a little bit, Coach, if we could. I said 2 seniors, and they're 2 good ones. Macy Carr, senior guard, averaging almost 9 points per game, almost 4 steals, and also 5 rebounds a game. And then your 6-foot senior center, Giovanna White-Principo, 15 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, and had a big second half against Mercy to lead you guys to that victory. And then eventually we'll go on the line, but there's a couple good players. But tell us about those 2 seniors, what they meant to the program. And I go, how much did you rely on them? Because there is a lot of balance. We'll talk about Morgan and Jasmine a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Gia has really, from her freshman year to now, has really improved. Again, a unique skill set in terms of what she does with us offensively and defensively. One of the main reasons we can pressure the ball so much full court is that even if teams will break the pressure, they still need to shoot it over top of her, score against her, and she's fantastic at blocking shots and not fouling and keeping the ball in play, which allows our guards to come back and get the ball. And like I said, she's really developed over the last few years in terms of offensively working on her game. And she loves playing. She plays a ton of basketball in AAU as well. Macy, same thing, loves playing, hard worker. Is probably one of the streakiest scorers that I've coached. When she gets going, she's going to continue to go. She's a great rebounder from a guard position. We really lack in size in terms of what we play. So she gets in there, mixes it up rebounding wise. I think she's our second leading rebounder this year. And like I said, she's one of the, like I said, she's the streakiest shooter I've ever seen that I've coached. Just when she gets going, the ball doesn't even touch the rim.
Talking some Waterloo girls basketball. Let's take a quick break. Come back. We'll break down the rest of the roster, and we'll find out how a coach from Indiana ends up in Waterloo, leaves, and comes back from the Hoosier State to come back to the Empire State to coach. So we'll take a quick break. You're watching the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show on Rock Sports Now.
I'm a biomedical sciences major. My goal is to one day open up my own pediatric office. I want to create an environment almost similar to the environment that Roberts creates for me. I want them to walk into the doctor's office and feel love. When I got here, I was just like, yeah, this is home. This is where I need to be. Be prepared for an adventure, be prepared for a journey, and enjoy the journey.
Have you recently bought a home, or have you been in your home for 5 years or more? Have you looked at your ductwork?
If not properly cleaned, air ducts can become contaminated with dust, pollen, or even mold. This can impact the air that you're breathing.
Check us out online and schedule your appointment today.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do. Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
There's a path to success full of challenges, rewards, inspiration, and strength. A strength that only the U.S. Army Reserve can give you. The skills and experiences you'll get will give you an advantage in your civilian life. Stay close to home, train to develop your strengths, and get on a path to success. Find out more at goarmy.com/reserve.
For more information, contact Syracuse Army Recruiting Center, 315-449-2830. There's strong. Then there's Army Strong, paid for by the U.S. Army.
Welcome back to the Congressman Ferris High School Sports Show. I'm Jeff DiVeronica with Steve Bradley talking some Waterloo girls basketball. This is our U.S. Army segment on the program where we talk about some of the great recruiters in our area. It's a great way to connect with them. Just check out the phone numbers, jot them down, give them a call. The Army can help pay for your college education. There are more than 150 different careers in the U.S. Army. Give them a call today. Go in for a consultation to find out more about how the Army can be possibly part of your future. A good long-term and short-term future we know ahead. The Waterloo girls basketball. Talking with Coach Michael Bree and Natalie DiSanto, junior point guard for the Indians. And Coach, we're talking about your roster. Jasmine Lewis, you talk about somebody that stuffs the stat sheet. She's a junior forward, 7 points a game, 6 steals a game, 4.5 rebounds a game, and 3.7 assists per game. How great is it to have somebody like that on the roster?
She actually came up as an 8th grader for me, and real sneak. She shoots the basketball. Matter of fact, we get on her quite a bit. Her teammates get on her about shooting the basketball, scoring. She focuses on every other part of the game. She just does things to help us. She's great at anticipating passes. She's physical for her size. There's many times that we stick her in the post on some of our defensive calls where, I think teams think they can take advantage of her size. And she just a unique skill set, gets her hands on so many basketballs. I think she's got, close to 80 some deflections this year already. And I know she's in the 70s, like 75, 76 steals this year already. So, and that's just what she does. She doesn't care about the offense. She's very selfless in the way she plays, and a great teammate.
Natalie, looking at the backcourt too, you've got junior guard Morgan Carvalho, who's in your grade. You've probably grown up playing a lot of basketball with her. She averages 13.8 points per game. What kind of chemistry do the two of you have, and what's Morgan's game?
Yeah, we have really good chemistry, and Morgan is a great athlete. Defensively and offensively, she can score the ball, and when she wants to get the ball, she'll get the ball. And we do have good chemistry. I know she's one of our strong shooters, so if she's wide open, I'll get her the ball.
They're the defending Class B2 champions, and I want to, before we talk about Coach Bree's journey back and forth from New York, I want to ask you about that Mercy game, Coach, because that was a game that certainly you guys put on the schedule to challenge yourself, and I know you're a big girl. She came up big when you needed her. Tell us about what you learned about this squad over here at Mercy, over at the Brighton School.
Yeah, we knew that was going to be a tough game. It's kind of one we circled. And even to go back, really when we put this schedule together, we really wanted to push them. And we weren't thinking we were going to win every game. We started with a scrimmage against Pittsford Mendon. That was, in a lot of ways, there were no fans in there, but it felt like a sectional game. Both teams were getting after each other, and it was very, very competitive. And then, like you mentioned, we played Canandaigua. We went to the Livonia tournament where, we saw 2 unique players. And then to turn around in a short time span after the Livonia tournament, I think we had 1 or 2 practices before we went over to Mercy, who, in AA school, got some very good players there. We did know a little bit about them because we played them in AAU and played them well over the summer. But they're a very competitive game. It came down to the wire. I don't know. Gia struggled in the first half. We made an effort to get her the ball in the second half and found just enough points to win. But again, I think if you watch that whole game defensively, to hold them to 32 points or whatever it was a phenomenal defensive effort.
Natalie, I want to ask about tradition. And, obviously there's the sectional titles there. But you've got Coach Bree, but also you've got a guy in your school, Tim Lincoln, who was a successful coach. He's been the Section 5 girls basketball coordinator for a long time, and he's the state coordinator. What does girls basketball just mean to the community and the school?
Yeah, it's definitely big in our school since we've been good for a while. And we get a lot of support at our games. And whenever we have a game, everyone's always coming to the games and cheering us on. And I think we have good programs from second grade all the way to 12th grade. So all of our programs are strong, and, the whole community is involved in girls basketball.
Coach Bree, let's talk about your journey. You're from Indiana, which is the Hoosier State. It's basketball crazy. I know you and I talked about that once a long time ago. How did you end up here in New York and started coaching varsity in 2010? And then I know you did leave after winning a couple Section 5 titles. I guess, what did you leave for, and why'd you come back? Is Tim Lincoln really that convincing?
No, I met my wife at actually the school. I was coaching boys in Indiana, and my wife got a job there, and she's from here. So that's how we got here. Getting involved in basketball here was something I thought about, especially on a girls' side, just because I'd coach boys. And Coach Pizzato would ask me one day if I'd be interested in coaching girls, and I said yes, and that's how I got started with coaching the girls. Once I got involved with girls, people ask me all the time would I switch back, and I don't think I would ever coach boys again. Partly because I have 3 girls, but girls are a lot of fun to coach. They listen, they work hard, they're just a treat to coach. When I left, it was a tough decision. I got offered at the time, my wife and I we had 2 young kids. The job I was working in Rochester, driving them back and forth every day, so it got a little tough with our kids getting a little older. So I got offered a teaching and coaching job in Indiana that really was above and beyond anything I would have ever expected to be offered to me, and felt like if I was ever going to make a change, that was the time to do it. Made the change. I went back to my hometown. It just never felt the same. I think I made a connection in Waterloo that I missed. So I think it probably even more than my wife, I wanted to get back here at some point. And again, the timing was just right for us to come back. Tim Lincoln, once he found out that I was coming back, called me, asked me if I wanted to get back involved. He was wanting to kind of get away from it and focus on being state coordinator. Came in and didn't even know if we were going to have a JV team. So I just happened to go to a couple travel practices that the girls were having travel practice, and a bunch of these 7th and 8th graders were running around, just as fast as it could be, running all over the place. And I was like, well, we could use them. So we ended up bringing up the group that I have now to JV, and been together ever since.
Coach, you mentioned that you have 3 daughters. One of them, Addison, is an 8th grader on this team. How's that father-daughter coaching dynamic? And I mean, she's a contributor to the team too. So maybe Addison as a player, and then Addison as a daughter.
Addison as a player is growing into her own. I think that's the biggest challenge. Is I've always had a hand in coaching her, and to be the varsity coach of a daughter is tougher than I thought it would be. There are unique challenges to it. It was a tough decision to figure out if I was going to bring her up or not. But ultimately, her success in cross country and the way she's developed mature wise. I thought she was ready for it. And really the whole season, she's really contributed in a big way in terms of hitting some timely shots and making some plays for us. And the best thing about it is that this group has accepted her and hasn't had any ill will towards, the coach's daughter coming in, taking some playing time and doing things. She's fit right in, and they take, they go bowling, they do things together, they invite her, they take her wherever. So it's, in that aspect, it's been a lot of fun. Coaching wise, there's some ups and downs, there's some struggles there, but I think, anybody that coaches their daughter goes through that same thing. But, it's something that we're both working on and trying to figure out and have separate conversations when we have a chance. And, when she's in practice, I treat her the same way as the other girls.
Natalie, before I let you go, I want to ask you about, you're just a junior, so you have a couple seasons left. But as far as we know, we're gonna get the state tournament back, and you didn't get a chance to do that last year. How much are you looking forward to if you can get the part one done, the job done of getting A, past the sectional title, and then B, the qualifier game? How much would you relish that chance to get to the state tournament this year after not having that chance?
Oh, I think it would be awesome. We were really excited for it last year, but then we obviously couldn't have it, and we're already planning ahead this year. Our team is pretty excited for it.
And Coach Bree, forgive my memory. In 13 and 14, when you won, how far did you guys make it? Did you make it all the way to Troy?
Yeah, so we went. We played Irvington in the championship game, and didn't do so well against them. They were pretty good. And then the following year, same group I had played. So the year after we went to we played Bishop Kearney in the crossover game, and there was a whole fiasco of where Bishop Kearney belonged and all that stuff. So it was a great game. I was glad we got to play them, and it just didn't go our way. So to have that chance to go back with this group would be awesome. They know what hard work they need to put in to get there. And kind of what we've been saying all along is just take it one game at a time and see what happens.
Well, it's not Hinkle Fieldhouse, but I certainly hope you get back to Troy and Hudson Valley Community College. It doesn't have the same ring as Hinkle Fieldhouse, but
the basket's still 10 feet high.
That's right.
And the free throw line's still 15 feet away.
Get that tape measure out. Natalie, thanks for being on our show. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Coach Bree, good to see you again. Best of luck to you and the Indians moving forward.
Yes, thanks for having us. Thank you.
Waterloo girls basketball right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Thanks, Steve Bradley.
Thank you, Jeff DiVeronica.
We'll see you right back again here real soon on Rock Sports, now on YouTube.